So today I'm going to be doing a new Scrapy project, which is to extract information about fitness, cycle, yoga, CrossFit companies, studios in major cities in the US. I don't have a list of those, so as you can see, I've started writing a Scrapy spider. But what I really want is a list of areas that I can pass in the URL to this website. So Boston, USA. And as you can see, it's got a unique query string there, so that's going to be fun. But what I need before I even get there is list of cities. I'm going to start with cities. I may well drop down to towns or do it by population density or something like that eventually, but I thought I'd start with cities. The following table lists the 317 incorporated places. So, right, this is what we want to extract, and it goes from 1 down to 317. And you can see we've got these annoying little bits in square brackets at the end of some of them, so that is the job that we will need to do. We will need to pass that. So you may have seen in one of my previous videos, what I did was I used read underscore HTML with pandas, so I'm going to do that again. So if you're ready to see that, then let's go, shall we? Just make a new file, and I'm going to call it US Towns PD. And I know that it runs pandas as well then. And there we go, and let's zoom in on that, make it a bit easier to see. So first thing I want to do is import pandas as PD. Next. Then import CSV, because you want to write the output to a CSV. And let's just bring back up the Wikipedia page. Copy that and paste that in as a URL. Good, right. So now's the fun bit. And if you remember, I used PD read underscore HTML to actually get the page. A bit like using get with requests. df to our data frame equals PD, so that's the pandas object, read underscore HTML, and then our URL. So that should go off and fetch the Wikipedia page. We don't just want the page, we want the table. So df equals df something. Now let's have a look at it and see if we can have a good guess. So 1 table, 2 table, 3 tables, 4. Let's try 4. And let's just do print df, and that should show us the first 5 entries on the last 5 of the data frame. So let's run it. And we've got an error there, some invalid syntax. Quotes. Let's run it again. Good. So as you can see, it's got, I think it's got the right table. Did that have, yeah, it had longitude and latitude right at the end. So we've got the right table, but we need to strip, oh sorry, we need to identify the right column first, so let's do that. And let's just see what it was called. City with a capital C. So that's all we want. That's all we want to use in our Scrapy spider. So df equals df city. Let's just try that to start with. Good. So you can see we've got the city, but as I just showed, we've got these little square brackets at the end, which that's not going to be good in when we use it in Scrapy Spider. That will return gobbledygook. So on the end of this, we want to do we want to split it whenever we see square brackets. So strings or split, and then something like, if we split it out the first square bracket, a equals 1, expand equals true, close, that finishes the split, and then we will then just want the first, or the bit to the left of the square bracket. So let's try that. Good. So we've got, North is New York all the way down to Woodbridge. You'll see that I used n equals 1. That's how I'm omitting. Without that, I would get 0. So let's write it to a CSV. df2 underscore CSV. And then we want to give it a name. So US towns.csv. Call it towns. Could actually US cities.csv. Encoding equals UTF-8. Helps if you spell encoding right, and then index equals false. We don't want the index. Sorry, yeah, we don't want the index because we don't want all those numbers, because we don't want to be putting in numbers 1 to 317 into our spider. And header equals none. Let's try that. Let's just put some comments in here. Identify the correct table in the wiki page. Remove the end and yeah. And we don't need to print it anymore because that was just for testing. Let's have a go with that. And sorry, I was not looking at the screen. I should learn to touch type. Good. So that's run without error. Let's just open up US cities. And there we go. Perfect. We have a list of any errors there? Anything we need to pass? Don't think so. So let's go to, I've not heard of some of these places. Louisville. Let's type Louisville back into the fitness studio. And I don't know what state it is, but let's go for, there we go. That's interesting. So we got 3 different ones. Oh, sorry, is it 4? How to deal with that? That will be the next video. This really is just showing you how to get the list of towns. And yeah, I need to go away and just work out how I'm going to do this. Let's just view source. There is JavaScript in here, I'm afraid, so we will be dealing with that. WOFF2? Right, well, I think that'll do. I'm going to go away and do some more work on this, but I thought I'd just show you. There we go, drop rows and columns in pandas. So this is quite a good site if you're just sort of giving yourself a bit of a refresh, or it's very well laid out for some quick tips on pandas. And yeah, Stack Overflow. So there we go, a little small tutorial, and it shows you how to get data from Wikipedia, how to I didn't really show you how to identify the correct table other than use your eyes. If you could, it's trial and error really. It could have been, if I'd used 3 or 5, I would have, you could see from the page that you were 1 up or 1 down from the one that you actually wanted. Yeah, this is good. If you make a note of this, this is a good thing to learn. To use, to perform the split operation on a data frame, you need to use .string.split. And having identified the column, so that's the column, then you do .string.split. So really, I expect you're probably, some of you may be familiar with using PD read, etc. Yeah, this was the bit I just had to look up and just test and experiment with before I got it correct. And yeah, and then just as usual, writing it to a CSV, encoding UTF-8, index of force. So yeah, again, for the purposes of this, these 2 lines were very important. I needed to drop the index because I didn't want to be looking for a town called City or a town called Naught or something. And yeah, I didn't want to be looking for a town called Naught or 317. And header, I didn't want anything which was not the name of the town. So yeah, there we go. Hope you've liked this. I'll be back very soon with probably the Scrapy spider once I've written it. So yeah, until next time, thanks for watching.